wild cases on paternity court.
A woman that's got that much mouth, got enough sense to know when you go look at a young man like this, if I lay down with him without no protection, I'm gonna be on my own. You are not the father.
Thank you.
Sir?
I need you to come on.
Come on back in, Mr. Gold.
It's a pretty wild ride when a wife has to convince her husband that he really is the father of their child. Miss Vaughn has the intention to prove to Mr. Williams that their baby boy Connor belongs to them and not someone from her past.
Mr. Williams, you say you got married under false pretenses and claim Miss Vaughn only used you for your money. You also believe Miss Vaughn has a secret sugar daddy and had that man throughout your entire relationship, and he's the real father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, what's the beef between these two? Ever since Connor's birth, Mr. Williams hasn't done anything to show that he's the baby's father. He bought him diapers and an outfit when he was a newborn, but after that, he's been pretty useless.
One, you can't put a price on how much a man can support his child.
Yes, you can.
No, you
Pray for
cannot.
it every day.
Mr. Williams, you say you have supported this child.
Yes, of course.
He's one, but you're also saying now, I've supported him, but he's not mine.
Yes, I did, because
Get
it
it
was
straight.
based on a love and a belief that I was being married to Miss Vaughn.
Mr. Williams was going around on campus, airing the dirty laundry of his love life by telling everyone that Miss Vaughn was promiscuous, a gold digger, and a backstabber. Mr. Williams had doubts from the day he married her that the child she was carrying belonged to her sugar daddy.
His father and I requested to meet her. We actually went to her house. And after having the discussion with her and she shared with us, then the next step was for them to get married, because her grandchild, she never said their child, that she was the one driving the bus on this relationship. And along the way, I've tried to realize who's been pregnant, who got pregnant by Brian.
Once the whole pregnancy started, Miss Vaughn realized that she couldn't go on with life without facing the consequences. And now there was a baby on the way, so she had to fully embrace her role as a mother. Yet Mr. Williams isn't convinced that he's the father.
Yeah. There is a question as it relates to his paternity.
Yeah.
And it's affecting his life because he's one, and the man that you say is his biological father is saying, I don't believe I am.
Yeah.
And you know what? At one, a baby recognizes their father.
Yeah.
Miss Vaughn feels confused that Mr. Williams was initially involved with parenting baby Connor, but then he backed off out of nowhere. He would babysit Connor, but the entire time he would be playing games on his electronics and not really taking care of the baby. That's pretty irresponsible.
In Mr. Williams' court papers, he alludes to the fact that he thinks you have a sugar daddy. What is this all about?
He is one of my childhood friends, and when I called and told him that Brian was not taking care of his responsibilities, when I was short on a couple of things and I couldn't call and ask Brian for it, he made sure he was there for it.
It seems that Mr. Williams really doesn't know what he's saying. When Miss Vaughn's friend called him and asked him to babysit the baby properly, Mr. Williams felt humiliated. Why was a strange man involved in his affairs? And how did he even get his number in the first place?
Did you confront Miss Vaughn and say, what are these messages and who is this person?
I've tried to contact her. She started blocking my number when I would ask about, her relationship. When I was coming over to her house, that they're already there, not dressed and claiming that it's just a regular friendship.
Looks like the truth's coming out, and maybe Mr. Williams isn't the evil man he's being portrayed to be. Miss Vaughn denied having relations with her Papa Bear, but then it turns out she was lying. The only way to end this is to read those DNA results once and for all. Baby Connor deserves to know who to call daddy.
Mr. Williams, you are the father.
Pay the lady. Pay the lady. Pay the lady.
Mr. Williams, you are the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are the father. You're gonna have to raise that child together. You're gonna have to help be responsible for him, care for him.
Every once in a while, a man enters a woman's life and completely sweeps her off her feet. But for Miss Taylor, the story was a little different with Mr. Brown. Once they were done with their affair, he left her alone and pregnant. Now she wants him to claim responsibility for the daughter he fathered.
Ms. Taylor, you say Mr. Brown is an older man who swept you off your feet and got you pregnant. You're here today to prove to Mr. Brown that he is the father of your 3-month-old daughter, Melanie Brown.
Yes, Your Honor.
When Judge Lauren asks Miss Taylor what Mr. Brown has done for baby Melanie, she reveals that all he's done is buy her diapers. And they weren't even the good ones. Poor Melanie ended up having diaper rash because of them, and Miss Taylor had to take her to the hospital.
Have you tried at all to get Mr. Brown involved? Have you called him? Have you said, do you want to come by and see the baby?
Yes, Your Honor. Every time I call him, he say, that ain't my baby. You need to go find your baby daddy and stop calling me.
Well, actually, she didn't know that I had a condom on.
He didn't use the condom, Your Honor.
Bottom line is, you say no protection was used. You say you did.
Yes.
How did their story start? They met each other at a club, and according to Miss Taylor, he was the one who made the first move. But Mr. Brown interrupts and says that it was her who was trying to invite herself over to his place so they could do the deed. But the shocking thing is the age difference.
He came up to you in the club.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you how old?
18.
And he was how old?
32.
What?
32, Your Honor.
How old are you, sir?
32.
32. I always say beware the old man in the club.
Hey.
Continue, Miss Taylor.
What threw off Mr. Brown was how Miss Taylor kept asking him if he likes baby. He kept thinking to himself that maybe this strange woman had a baby fever. Who knew she would actually end up pregnant? He even thought that she might have been pregnant way before they met each other.
A father figure or father for her baby.
Because you
are
have
the
a strong
father of my
suspicion
baby.
she was already pregnant.
Yes.
I
And
was
then
not, Your Honor.
The first time we used a condom. The second time we
If I was already pregnant, how come my baby 3 months?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out. The third time the condom broke.
The condom broke.
Yes.
Judge Lauren asks how did they break the news of pregnancy. Miss Taylor confesses that when she first told Mr. Brown, he straight up said the baby couldn't be his. He said that she had to go find the real baby daddy because it sure wasn't him.
He only came around like 3 times when he wanted to have sex.
Is he in the delivery room with you?
He came after I had the baby and he held the baby. I have a picture of him
We only
holding the
had
baby.
sex once when she was
and
pregnant anyway.
I have a picture of him
Let me
holding the
see this
baby.
evidence,
And then
Ron.
he said for 5 minutes, then he said he was going to smoke a cigarette and he never came back, Your Honor.
Because I didn't feel a bond.
That's a pretty lousy excuse to deny a baby because you thought you didn't have a bond with it. Even Judge Lauren reprimands him for running away without even informing Miss Taylor. Could the DNA results help baby Melanie know who her father really is?
Mr. Brown, you are the father.
I told you. Can I have that paper, Your Honor?
Well, now I can hold her again.
That is so sad. That is so sad.
But I'll do something now, though.
Sometimes people cheat on you for the craziest of reasons. Mr. Golden went behind his partner's back just because she burned his clothes. But they weren't cheap. The item cost almost $1,000. And today, he's not only suing Miss Campbell, but he's also proving he's Andrea's real father.
So, Mr. Golden, why do you think Miss Campbell is denying that you're Andrea's father?
Because she hate me.
Really? Explain.
She hate me because I slept with her best friend.
You slept with her best friend?
Yes, ma'am. But I did it to get back.
You did? Well,
Yeah.
why would you do that?
I did it to get back out of the spice because she used to do crazy stuff to me.
Once Judge Lauren hears what Mr. Golden has to say, she's pretty shocked to see that these two are even in a relationship. Only insane people would do the things that these two have done. Miss Campbell says that everything was some mind game for Mr. Golden.
Why are you sleeping with her best friend and why are you popping up places? What is going on?
She crazy.
Your Honor, the reason why I burnt his clothes is because he told me he was going to walk to the store, right? But usually it's me and him walking to the store.
Yes.
He's walking with a girl, like close, side by side, close.
It really pissed off Miss Campbell that she caught Mr. Golden red-handed, and he ran away from her. What does Mr. Golden have to say for himself? According to him, he was just out to grab some cigarettes from the store. So, how is it his fault that another girl was walking next to him?
So when he started running, you decided I'm gonna burn his clothes.
Yeah.
So now you're so angry.
It's so angry that I went to his mom's house and went in the closet and got his clothes out and pulled his clothes right there on the ground, picked up a shirt, set it on fire, threw it on top of all his clothes, and all it was on.
And so, Mr. Golden, this is the basis of your suit.
Yes, ma'am.
Still, that's not enough reason to burn your partner's clothes. That's one wild thing to do. According to Mr. Golden, the relationship's extremely chaotic, and now Miss Campbell is trying to get at him by proclaiming that he's not their daughter's father. Talk about insane ways of getting revenge.
Are you trying to get back at him?
I feel like he's not even the father type. If he don't even respect me, why, how can he respect my child?
Did you have sex with him?
Yes.
Without
I did.
protection?
Yes, but it wasn't around the time when my baby was conceived, when she was
It wasn't. So, Mr. Golden, did she tell you she was pregnant? Or how did you find out?
Her mom.
Her mom told you.
But things take an even messier turn when Miss Campbell says that she felt weak from Mr. Golden and went behind her boyfriend's back to sleep with him. Looks like she couldn't resist those puppy eyes. Mr. Golden says that she didn't have a boyfriend at that time and she's faking the story. They have to bring in her mother as witness.
Miss Jones, you are
Jasmine's mother.
Miss Campbell's mother.
Yes, ma'am.
Standing with Mr. Golden. Interesting. Ma'am, did you know anything about this other boyfriend that she says she had?
No, ma'am, I did not.
You've never seen this guy?
No, ma'am, I did not see him.
Even the mother is on Mr. Golden's side. Is Miss Campbell just pure insane then? When she was pregnant with Andrea, she didn't even let Mr. Golden come to the hospital. She kept telling the nurses and the doctors to keep him away. Why does she hate this man so much?
Do you get mad at people when they say that Mr. Golden is your child's father, Miss Campbell?
No, I get mad at him because he's telling people that he's my child's father.
Why do you believe so strongly that he is, Ms. Jones?
Because he was there, and I know they was having sex. Like I said, they probably still are. I know they were, because I worked overnight till 4 in the morning.
It seems like this is an extremely personal matter for Mr. Golden. He's tried his best to be there for the baby, and it's about time all this drama came to an end. Miss Campbell might not want to be the father, but only the DNA results can tell the truth.
Mr. Golden, you are not the father.
Thank you.
Sir.
It's okay.
Mr. Golden?
Come on.
I'm straight.
You have to go. Come on. I need you. Come on. It's okay. Just have a seat.
Come on back in, Mr. Golden.
What's a paternity court episode if it doesn't feature one meddling mother? Miss Knox is tired of how Mr. Bailey keeps denying being the father of their baby boy Cash, and she believes it's got everything to do with how he's such a mama's boy.
Miss Bailey, you claim your son is a famous dancer and is about to hit it big. Both of you claim Ms. Knox is pinning a baby on your son because she is after his fame and future fortune.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Knox, what has Mr. Bailey done for Cash since he's been born?
I paid for everything.
That's because you wanted to.
Miss Bailey keeps firing shots at Miss Knox. She thinks that Miss Knox is after her son because she's a gold digger. At first, she didn't even seem into him, but the moment her son launched his dance career, he started earning big. So Miss Knox pounced on the opportunity.
Do you have receipts?
Yes, I do have
That
receipts
will
of all the
substantiate-
stuff that I had bought for my child. I had to buy wipes, car seats, strollers. I had to buy everything. I haven't seen anything from it, Mr. Bailey.
So these are receipts. They total $6,960.
Yes, ma'am.
But Miss Knox has come prepared, and she's got receipts to prove it. Judge Lawrence straight up asks Mr. Bailey that if he ever tried being involved with the child when he came into this world, and he claims that he wasn't because Miss Knox ended up fleeing to Texas.
So when she left,
I have
Instagram.
evidence.
I'd like to see that
This
evidence.
just this.
What is this evidence, sir?
I have
that's
evidence
just-
showing that you only
that's
got
just
those
some-
things to stack
that's
up
just-
because I said I was going to
that's
put you on
just
child
some-
support. That's the
that's
only
some of
reason
the
why you
stuff.
got it.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I have it too.
Let's
I
get
have-
some order.
Judge Lauren has a difficult time understanding why Mr. Bailey has doubts about the paternity. He was there when the pregnancy happened, and he even signed the birth certificate of baby Cash. So, what's the real reason he's having so many doubts? Did Miss Knox go behind his back?
I'm not no phone checking type person. That's not my style, okay? But I just so happened to go through her phone. She was texting me and this little dude just around the same time, telling us it was like the same conversations, right? Like minutes apart, not even, like minutes apart. The last text message said, I'm gonna come give you a hug and a kiss from the other guy. And my text message said, I'm on my way to come get you.
Well, that's a big revelation. What will Miss Knox say to defend herself? Immediately, Miss Bailey interjects and shares her 2 cents. According to her, Miss Knox was already pregnant when she met Mr. Bailey, and now she's laid out a paternity trap for him. This is why they need the truth to come out.
Yana, he does not have a career. I don't know what career you're talking about, but he does not. He was nothing when I met him, and he's nothing now.
Miss Bailey, explain to me why you believe she was pregnant before she even met your son.
Because when we actually did have a conversation, she's gonna say, oh, well, I'm 3 months pregnant.
Lies.
Miss Bailey tells Judge Lauren that whenever she went to visit Miss Knox, she would be hiding under the sheets trying to cover up the fact that she was already 5 months pregnant. From day one, she kept telling her son that she doesn't have a good feeling about this girl.
I asked her 3 times, and we haven't seen Cash ever since I brought that up. And then every time we want to see Cash, Edward has to give her something. Oh, well, if you give me a case of diapers, you can see Cash.
Okay.
Yana, and I still don't receive this stuff. The reason why I don't give them to him, because first off, their house is not even properly, it's not even a house.
This seems like to be more of a problem between Miss Knox and Miss Bailey. It's like Mr. Bailey is completely unbothered and doesn't care what the outcome of today's case will be. Before the two women can cause any more chaos in the court, Judge Lauren asks Jerome to bring in the results.
Mr. Bailey, you are Cash's father.
That's fine, you're still a tramp.
You seem emotionless. How does it feel?
Son. That's my son. I'm gonna move forward with what I gotta do as a father, and I'm not gonna let her bring me down. I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing.